You crave an electric SUV with a bit more bite? The Nissan Ariya Nismo might just spark your interest. Packing an additional 128 brake horsepower over the standard Ariya E4 it boasts a rear-biased all-wheel drive system and, of course, a generous splash of Nismo flair. What is Nismo, anyway? In case you're wondering, Nismo stands for Nissan Motorsport, the brand's high-performance division. You might recall the badge gracing the likes of the Juke Nismo or the sporty 370Z. However, the Ariya Nismo isn't here to tussle with hardcore performance EVs like the Hyundai Ioniq 5N. Instead, it aims to take on mid-tier electric SUVs such as the Ioniq 5N line, Ford Capri and Explorer dual-motor variants, VW ID.4 and ID.5 GTX, Skoda Enyaq VRS, and Cupra Tavascan. While true EV speed demons like the Ioniq 5N and Kia EV6 GT play in a different league, make no mistake, the Ariya Nismo isn't sluggish by any means. First drive impressions. Nissan flew us to the sun-soaked roads of the south of France to get hands-on with the Ariya Nismo. Curious about how we put cars to the test? Check out our in-depth explainer page. Quick take. Pros. Strong performance without a hefty price jump from the top-spec E4 Punchy acceleration, especially at speed. Spacious, airy interior. Cons. Firm, unsettled ride quality. Lacks dynamic, engaging handling. Disappointing driving range. What's new under the hood and beyond? No performance flagship is complete without bold design tweaks, and the Ariya Nismo doesn't disappoint, though opinions may vary. It sports an aggressive body kit, striking red accents, and distinctive 20-inch Enkei wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport EV tires for enhanced grip. Yet, these wheels look a bit undersized within the wheel arches, partly due to the SUV's noticeable ride height. Function meets form here. Aerodynamic lift has been slashed by 40% without compromising efficiency. The chassis gets a thorough rework, too, with stiffer springs and dampers, an upgraded front anti-roll bar, and a torque split favoring the rear at 60/40. Inside the cabin, the interior tweaks are subtle but effective. You'll find faux leather and suede sports seats, a darker headliner, sleek wood effect trim, and plenty of Nismo badging to remind you this isn't just any Ariya. The digital driver's display even treats you to a special Nismo-themed startup animation. Final thoughts. The Nissan Ariya Nismo delivers a compelling blend of style, performance, and electric efficiency. While it may not dethrone the kings of the EV performance world, it carves out its own niche with confidence and a dash of Nismo attitude. Power play. What are the specs? Under the hood, or rather under the floor, the Ariya Nismo packs the same front and rear electric motors as the standard Ariya E4 but with the volume cranked up. The result? A punchy 429 brake horsepower and a hefty 443 lb-ft of torque, launching you from 0 to 62 miles per hour in a crisp 5.0 seconds. But all that power comes at a cost, range. While Nissan claims an official 261 miles on a single charge, real-world driving paints a different picture. On a mixed route, we averaged 2.5 miles per kilowatt-hour, translating to around 217 miles. Factor in cold weather or a lead foot, and you're dipping below 200 miles. Ouch. Behind the wheel, what's it like to drive? Well, not as thrilling as you'd hope. Despite the Nismo badge, the driving experience feels more meh than mind-blowing. The standard Ariya is already on the stiff side, and the Nismo takes that firmness up a notch. Even on smooth roads, there's a jittery fidget, and hitting potholes or speed bumps feels like a minor assault. Shockingly, adaptive dampers aren't even an option. And here's the kicker. Cranking up the stiffness doesn't translate to razor-sharp handling. Even in Nismo mode, the steering is numb, nicely weighted, sure, but lacking any real feedback. On the plus side, the brakes feel sharper than those in competitors like the MEB-based SUVs. Think VW ID.4 GTX or Skoda Enyaq VRS. Push it hard, and instead of playful oversteer, you're met with snappy understeer, especially when gunning it out of tight corners. I even tried switching off the ESC, hoping to unlock some hidden fun. Bad idea. All it did was let the inside wheel spin briefly before the car's brain killed the party. Boo. Inside story. What's it like inside? Step inside, and it's basically a regular Ariya with a Nismo makeover. Lots of black, red accents, and sporty stitching. The seats get a faux leather and suede treatment, but beyond that, it's business as usual. The infotainment system? Starting to show its age. The screen is big enough and the navigation is fine, but the interface feels clunky. Worse yet, diving through the driver display menus feels like navigating a maze just to disable basic features like lane assist or the speed limit warning. Final thoughts. The Nissan Ariya Nismo looks the part, with bold styling and impressive specs on paper. But when it comes to driving excitement, it feels like Nissan forgot to sprinkle in the fun. If you're after straight-line speed with a sporty badge, it'll do the job. But if you're craving genuine EV thrills, you might want to keep looking. Buttons are few and far between, with Nissan preferring touch-sensitive icons that just aren't as easy to feel your way onto. The seats could definitely do with bigger bolsters to hold you in place, just adding suede doesn't grip you in place well enough. Overall, the dark headliner, red accents, and permanently red ambient lighting make for a less appealing cabin than the lighter-colored standard Ariya, at least to these eyes. Space up front is generous, as is rear legroom, although the boot is a disappointing 408 liters, and there's no load-though facility on the 60/40 split folding rear bench. Before you buy, Ariya Nismo comes packed full of equipment, and there are no options to add. In the UK at least, you can't even pick the color. Stealth gray or nothing. At 56,620 pounds, it's around 6,000 pounds more than the less powerful, if barely any slower, twin-motor Ioniq 5N line, and about 10,000 pounds less than the full-fat N. Verdict. Even with memories of the disappointing Juke still in the back of my mind, I had expected a Nismo Ariya to be far more entertaining than the regular model. It's certainly faster, but there's little to no joy to the handling, even with a ride that's firmer than a regular Ariya, and that rearward bias to the four-wheel drive. Factor in the shorter than ideal range, and it's hard to make a case for this Ariya over the regular four-wheel drive model. If you do want some fun from your 55,000 pounds SUV coupe, I'd point you towards the Ford Capri instead.